Calls are pouring in for President Donald Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize as a peace agreement between Israel and Hamas has the potential to end the disastrous war in the Middle East. While President Trump is keeping himself very busy, the federal government remains shut down, and some Democrats have made a shocking announcement that they will not be deterred. I'm Daily Signal Politics editor Bradley Devlin, in for Tony Kinnett. The date is October 10th, 2025, and this is your top news in 10. On Wednesday, President Trump announced on Truth Social that Israel and Hamas had reached a peace deal.
As you know, last night we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday. Getting them is a complicated process. I'd rather not tell you what they have to do to get them. There are places you don't want to be, but we are getting the hostages back on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, and that'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there, and we're working on the timing, the exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing. And the amazing thing is all of the countries over there, from Qatar to Saudi Arabia to UAE to all of them, I mean, the rich ones, the less than rich ones, they've all come together, something which is amazing, actually. They've all come together for this, and they're really probably the best relationships they've ever had. So it's been really something incredible that nobody thought it was possible to get it done. And very importantly, the hostages are coming back. As you know, they consider them hostages. They talk about them as hostages, but there are approximately 28 dead people, mostly young, mostly men, but and boys. I mean, boys. The one woman talked about her baby. Her baby's 25 years old, but, you know, to her, it's her baby, and we're bringing them home.
While the world must wait and see if both sides keep their end of the bargain and act on the deal, calls are pouring in for Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, the winner of which will be announced today. Trump's Truth Social post on Wednesday said, quote, "I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America, and we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make sure this historic and unprecedented event happened. Blessed are the peacemakers." End quote. The peace agreement includes an immediate ceasefire, the immediate release of the remaining living hostages still in Gaza, a partial withdrawal of Israel from Gaza, prisoners held by Israel, and a surge of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posted on X that Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, with an AI image of Netanyahu placing the Peace Prize around Trump's neck, surrounded by Israeli flags. America's political leaders are also advocating for Trump to get the prize. Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee said the president deserves a Nobel Peace Prize on Fox News, and Ohio Republican Senator Bernie Moreno called Trump's Middle East peace deal a, quote, feat that will go down in history, end quote. He also called for the president to receive the prize. Even Democrats are joining in. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania said on Fox News that he would be leading the committee to get President Trump the Nobel Peace Prize if Trump's Middle East peace deal sticks and if he brings peace to Ukraine and Russia. But shockingly, the Israel-Hamas ceasefire is only part of Trump's bid to win the Nobel Peace Prize. In just the first year of his administration, Trump helped end 7 other wars with varying degrees of involvement. Those wars include Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. Netanyahu claimed to nominate Trump for the prize in July after the Iran-Israel war came to an end. Cambodia's prime minister said the same in August, and in that same month, the Armenian prime minister and Azerbaijani president fully endorsed Trump for the prize for his work in settling their conflict. However, nominations for the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize closed on January 31st, just days after Trump returned to the White House. So this year might not be the year for Trump, but nominations made after July 31st will count for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize, which the government of Pakistan has already nominated Trump for next year's prize. Several reports from the Capitol suggest top Democrats are digging in on their shutdown strategy, even if that means federal workers miss a paycheck. In the words of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, quote, "Every day gets better for us. It's because we've thought about this long in advance, and we knew that healthcare would be the focal point on September 30th, and we prepared for it. Their whole theory was threaten us, bamboozle us, and we will submit in a day or two," end quote. CNN reports that Democrat leaders are confident their party will maintain its position on the shutdown beyond the October 15th payday for active duty military service members. Active duty military service members missing a paycheck hasn't happened on a scale like this in recent memory, which is causing anxiety to rise among vulnerable Democrats. One Democrat from a purple state, Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia, told CNN that the troops deserve to be paid, but also that, quote, "working people deserve their health care," end quote. Warnock also vowed to keep fighting, suggesting a continuation of the shutdown. But some Democrats are getting increasingly concerned in their coalition's ability to manage the shutdown. One House Democrat anonymously told CNN that, quote, "there isn't an off-ramp and no one is feeling the pain," end quote, of that shutdown yet. But when that changes, Democrats might have to reconsider.
Yesterday, Chuck Schumer, of course, says, quote, "every day this gets better for us." And so you've got to ask yourself, if you're Chuck Schumer, and a good day for you is defined by how much suffering you can impose on other people, including our men and women in uniform, maybe you need to look in the mirror and check yourself at the door and wonder what it is you're up here trying to accomplish. Is that really why Chuck Schumer ran for office? To inflict pain on other people so that he can have a good day, a better day for himself. When that is your measuring stick for a good day, is how much pain you're inflicting on other American families, you have lost your way. And yet they vote over and over again to keep the government shut down. While trying to talk about other issues, we can be talking about those other issues without inflicting pain on people. We can be debating our differences, as President Trump said he wants to do, by opening the government back up again.
One Democrat aide also told CNN that they, quote, "don't get where the optimism is coming from. We aren't any closer to a deal on the ACA subsidies or anything else than we were on September 30th. Just because the body's moving doesn't mean it's alive," end quote. On a lighter but very important note for the upcoming holiday weekend, President Donald Trump signed a proclamation on Thursday to honor Christopher Columbus, the Italian explorer who sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and ended up in the Americas.
Today we have your Columbus Day proclamation for Monday, which we're signing a bit early. Christopher Columbus obviously discovered the New World in 1492. He was a great Italian explorer. He sailed his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, across the Atlantic Ocean and landed in what's today the Caribbean. But this is a particularly important holiday for Italian Americans who celebrate the legacy of Christopher Columbus and the innovation and explorer zeal that he represented.
In other words, we're calling it Columbus Day.
Yes.
That was the press that broke out in applause. Can you believe that? I've never seen that happen before. The press actually broke out in applause. Good. Columbus Day. We're back. Columbus Day, we're back, Italians.
Columbus Day has been a federal holiday since 1971. In recent years, however, activists have worked to disassociate the day from Columbus, opting instead for Indigenous Peoples Day, because of course they can't even agree on who those people exactly are. And of course, these activists have also worked to take down statues of Columbus in the continued waves of iconoclasm that have rattled the nation. Whatever happened to the left's slogans of diversity is our strength and we are a nation of immigrants? Wasn't Columbus one of those first immigrants? And wasn't he making those lands more diverse when he arrived? Much to consider. But that's all the time we have today. This October 10th, 2025, we will be taking a short break for Columbus Day weekend and encourage you all to do the same. But that means we will not have Top News in 10 episodes released on Monday, October 13th or Tuesday, October 14th. But we will be back on October 15th. And until then, I'm Bradley Devlin, politics editor for the Daily Signal, filling in for Tony Kinnett. We'll see you tomorrow.